other big one, January 3rd here. What is it? January 21st, 2024. Governor Dunleavey flying a pro-life flag on the governor's mansion there in Juneau, Alaska. Came out in the news last night, and I wonder. Obviously, I need a quick research because I get a pretty good understanding at this point of the Alaska ethics law for the executive branch, and they obviously have violated that in some instances. This particular instance is not a violation, from my understanding, because it's using his state capital and state mansion resources for communication of partisan political things, and that is within the scope of what a governor in Alaska can do legally, if that makes sense. However, something like, for instance, contrasting that flying that pro-life flag to the quote-unquote Alaska Affordability Act he's trying to craft, is Alaska Affordability Act would be a violation, in my opinion, in my understanding, of executive branch Alaska ethics law, because it's using those state resources. It's actually not just doing something superficial with communication device, flying a flag on the mansion. It's specifically trying to get a bunch of state money, right, and put it up for these. For 20 grand for someone who's been here 5 years, for their mortgage in their house and shit like that. I don't know if you remembered when I did some videos on the budget. I had kind of gone through that, and why I thought that was sort of hollow political grandstanding, and I didn't really understand how it would be a violation of Alaska ethics law, but it was kind of like, I even kind of voiced the question about that, and I was like, well, isn't that going to be basically using state resources for a partisan political thing? And then obviously, is it even going to accomplish a pro-life objective? Because that was what Dunleavy had articulated. He had said, the governor Dunleavy had said that he thought this was going to make Alaska, quote unquote, or it was one of his goals to make it the most pro-life state in the union. And I was like, well, do we really want to do that? Or is it the place of government to be doing that? And it's not, clearly. So if you look at the Alaska ethics law, it says you can't use those state resources for those partisan type political objectives when we're talking about actual state funds, in other words, if that makes sense. And obviously it's just a giveaway. There's all kinds of other reasons why Alaska Affordability Act should get shot down and not go forward. But I thought I would just mention that Alaska Affordability Act again in the context of, this thing coming out with Dunleavy flying that pro-life flag in the governor's mansion in Juneau.